Now that you have a basic understanding of dyslexia, I want to take a few minutes to explain what families can typically expect when they begin structured intervention using programs like Barton. This is meant to be an overview, not every detail, but it will help set expectations clearly from the start. What is Barton exactly? Barton is part of a family of programs called Orton-Gillingham-based programs, which is a real mouthful. These programs are explicit, systematic, and multisensory. Sometimes parents hear me describe these programs as phonics on steroids because it's designed specifically for dyslexic students and those who struggle with reading and spelling. In these programs, nothing is assumed. Everything is taught directly. Skills are built step by step with a strong emphasis on understanding how language works. The length and the consistency of these programs is very important, and it must be understood that Barton is not a quick fix. This is a marathon and not a race. Typically, most students take 2.5 to 5 years to complete the full program, depending upon the severity of their dyslexia and how frequently they've been going and how consistently they've been attending. Ideally, we want our students to complete level 8 before middle school and level 10 before high school so they can tackle those biology books. This long timeline can be hard to hear, but it's what leads to true lasting literacy rather than short-term gains that don't hold over time. One feature of these programs is what we call controlled text, and it's a core feature in these programs. So what controlled text is that students are never asked to read or spell anything that hasn't been taught explicitly in the program. This is to eliminate the guessing habit. No relying on context to get through the test, no guessing. And over time, this builds confidence and reinforces spelling and reading rules-based decoding instead of compensating strategies. So because of this, it is extremely important that students are not enrolled in 2 reading programs at the same time, even if that's at school. More reading programs does not mean more progress. More reading programs usually means more confusion. Even when students receive school support, we are recommending they be pulled out of reading programs in school so as to not confuse what's being done in Barton. So you may ask, where do schools fit into this? How does school support really work here? School-based services and private interventions such as Barton, they serve 2 different purposes. Schools are helping students access curriculum, typically through accommodations such as reading out loud, scribing for a student, not taking off points for spelling errors, extended time, etc. Barton is going to focus on remediating the underlying reading and spelling difficulties. Because of that, recommendations for accommodations at school may evolve over time as a student's skills improve. Barton students require less accommodation as they progress through the program. We work through this thoughtfully with the families to decide what support makes sense in both settings. Those conversations are always individualized and handled together with the school in collaboration. What does this mean for reading outside of sessions? Before level 4 is completed, we do discourage heavy independent reading. Early independent readers often are guessers, which has been slowing them down all along. So we recommend using audiobooks to build vocabulary comprehension and content knowledge without reinforcing the guessing habit through level 4. Comfort with independent reading and textbook reading typically begins to improve dramatically after level 6. Many families choose to use Learning Ally and Bookshare during this time, and I can help with access to those libraries. A lot of folks ask about math and writing and technology. We watch math very closely, especially for our third graders. Once they're in third grade, we recommend assessing multiplication fact fluency. Rote-based multiplication and division facts are commonly impacted by dyslexia, and addressing this early can prevent frustration and years of unnecessary failure in math. Technology is also an important part of support. Typing, assistive technology, even voice dictation are encouraged tools, not shortcuts. Dyslexic students need to be educated in these school tools and exposed to their impact so that they can be capable of independent work at school and beyond. For handwriting, younger students benefit from structured handwriting programs. However, if handwriting is not fluent by third grade, Susan Barton recommends shifting their focus to typing. By third grade and beyond, handwriting habits are very well established, and the ability to improve it diminishes greatly. So making that transition for their handwriting before third grade is very, very important. That being said, let's talk about what the big picture is. The most important thing to know is that this process is steady and it's cumulative. Each level is going to build on the one before it, and consistency is going to matter more than speed. Progress is real and it is lasting. We focus on building strong readers, confident spellers, and students who truly understand how language works. In terms of next steps, every family is coming to this work from a different place. Some are just gathering information or very new to dyslexia. Some are ready to make decisions. Some are already ready to start. There is no real rush, although we did talk about early intervention. But you're welcome to take the next steps that feel most helpful for your family right now. Whether that means finding more information, maybe meeting with us on one of our complimentary community building park day events, or picking up the phone and talking to us or sending us an email. That's all perfectly fine, and we look forward to being able to help you in whatever way we can.